Today we're going to talk about the Sustainability City. The topic I chose is Tokyo, Japan. First, we're going to talk about some populations. Tokyo has a population of approximately 38 million in 2020. You can show from here the graph. In 2020, right now it's about 37 million people, and it's keep rising. The growth rate is 0.13 million compared with 2015, which represents 0.07 annual change. So 2015 is approximately here, and you can see the change between 2015 and 2020 was just slightly high, and it only represents 0.07 annual change. Second, some history of Tokyo. Tokyo began life as a village known as Edo, which shown a picture here. And secondly, a massive earthquake almost destroyed nearly half of Tokyo in 1923, which can show in this picture. The Allied bombing of Tokyo was just as destructive as that of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And Tokyo has the world's busiest metro system. And you can see from this picture, these are all the different lanes and different metros in Tokyo. And the metros are being the most people's daily transportation. Secondly, let's talk about some economy in Tokyo. As Tokyo took off Osaka after the war and industrialization, the economy keep rising, and Tokyo is becoming more and more prosperous, and its economy, especially GDP, is far ahead of other big cities. As 2019, it's Tokyo's GDP is sitting at 1.6 trillion. Interestingly, Tokyo is the number one city today, with an estimated 1.6 trillion GDP in 2019. And all these stats here can show how prosperous is Tokyo to sit on the number one in the GDP. And next we're going to talk about some economic sectors. So it divided into three parts. First, the primary, and secondary and tertiary. So primary are mainly focused on agriculture, mining, forestry stuff, and secondary are mainly focused on shipbuildings, electronics, and paper manufacturing. Tertiary are those big buildings like financial institute, schools, and restaurants that run for governments. So here's a stats here to show in different years from 2000 to 2015, the employees percentage working on primary to tertiary industry. As you can see from 2000 compared to 2015, the primary industry employees percentage are dropping, and the tertiary industry's employee percentage is increasing, which means more and more people are attending to do work in financial institutes, schools, and restaurants, and there's less and less people doing agriculture, which means from this 15 years there's more people moving from rural area to urban area. And maps of Tokyo. Tokyo is Japan's modern high-tech capital of more than 12 million people. One of the most fascinating cities in the world. Busy, crowded, expensive, but always exciting and fascinating. And Tokyo is also the heart of Japan, and center of culture, music, finance, and art. The city has stunning modernist architecture and looming skyscrapers, and the country's political and economy powerhouse. And they also have great hotels, museums, like whatever you want in Japan, and must be in Tokyo. And the models in Tokyo are being concentric model, which means the most most prosperous and most busy places in the city are in the middle of the city, and in the really middle of the city it's being the CBD, Central Business District, then the transition zone, then the blue collar resident, and the middle income resident, and the commuter resident, which means the blue collar resident and transition zones people can have a better convenience time to travel to the CBD, and it's like the Central Business District is like the heart in Tokyo. And the public transport in Tokyo, most people using railway transport, so passenger transport per person is the greatest in Tokyo, in which railway transport is used more than 800 times per person per year. So the railway transport is ranking the first in Tokyo, and railways being the most dominant transportation in Tokyo. There's 158 lanes and 48 operators and 2,210 stations. So some action plans for Tokyo. First, changes or improvements to existing transportation infrastructure. So the one that need to improve the transportation is railway, of course, because everyone is using railway in Tokyo, and it's gonna be really, really busy when people are finishing work and at the end of the day. So the problem has been obvious in Tokyo's railway. People are getting too crowded in peak time, as too many people in Tokyo is using railway as their main transportation. To solve the problem, the first thing would be creating more routes and different transportations. Using different transportation and different route to get to the same destination. Which means the first step Tokyo should take is use a better resource to do route planning. And secondly, air pollution in Tokyo is being a serious question in Tokyo, in Japan. So there's 3 solutions. So solution 1, tentpole solution, meaning that the city will be condensed so that people don't have to drive to the places like shops. Better use of a land to make people living in a better air quality city without the automobiles, which means you don't have to drive when you want to go get something instead, but you can walk or even rent a bicycle to get what you want in the shops. And cause the city is condensed and everything is really near to each other. And solution 2, based on solution 1, walking and biking will fix the problem. People can just rent a bike near home and biking to the shops. As I already said, it's going to be really convenient because everything is near to each other. So then under that situation, there's no meaning of driving unless you're going to somewhere that's really far. And the last solution 3, is growing more trees in the urban area to filter the air. The major problem that causing the air pollution in Tokyo is there's less trees to filter the air. So planting more trees will decrease in air pollution. I believe growing trees is the best way and the most direct way to filter the air and clean out the air pollution. And as Tokyo, the city can plant more trees on either rural area or the urban area to create more space for more fresh air. Thank you very much everyone for listening to this.